So Scotland versus France. What a great game for this weekend. Scotland have been France's bogey team for a while now. France certainly all powerful, look good, but Scotland have had their number. Can they do it again in the face of what looks like huge French power in their side? Scotland certainly are a little bit handicapped up front. Sutherland still out. Gray out. That's a big miss. Matt Fagerson not available. So yeah, I think they're struggling a little bit to get to a full strength side. In the front row they've got Schoeman and Xander Fagerson as the props. McAnally, interestingly, gets the nod over Turner. I wondered if they go back to Turner and maybe a little bit more power than McAnally, but they've gone for McAnally. In the second row they've gone for Skinner there. And now, is he a replacement for Gray? Not really. So Skinner and Gilchrist, I'd say, is a little bit weaker than what they could put out. We do get a start for Darge, though, at 6. Rory Darge, a really good player. He's about 22 now. I think he is ready, but what a huge game to get thrown into. Talk about diving in at the deep end, but he's got the talent. Let's see if he stands up, a bit like Basham has for Wales. That would be great. Watson at 7 and Bradbury at 8. He hasn't played for a couple of years, I think, so that'll be huge for him as well. Certainly that pack on paper compared to France just looks a little underpowered. They're going to have to play out of their skin, particularly in the tight work and the set piece. At halfback, Price and Russell, their first choice are there, so that's good for them. And in the centres, as I hoped, Tuipulotu does retain his spot. I thought he was a real bright spark against Wales in attack, alongside the ever-reliable Chris Harris. Back 3 is their first choice. Van der Merwe, the on-form Darcy Graham, and the captain Stuart Hogg, so that's good there. Still plenty of firepower in that Scottish backline. Looks as good as ever. Can the forwards give them that platform? That's what I'm wondering. The French are so good at hitting at the game line, knocking players back. Could they do that to the Scots in attack? It's possible. I just don't know if there's enough carrying in this Scottish pack to make the gain line. They might have to try some risky stuff with Russell, but they've got the ability to do that. On the bench, we've got Turner, Kebbell and Nell, so quite a heavyweight front row bench. Young Hodgson, 23 I think he is, another guy chucked in at the deep end there against the mighty French coming on. Haining, quite a big number 8 who could come on. That might be a move they decide to make. Then 3 backs in White, Kinghorn and Bennett back in. Good to see him back. Again, young Cameron Redpath. Injury blights his young career once again, which is a shame, so he's not in. Is that Scottish team good enough to win? Let me know below. Now France, only one personnel change and a bit of a switch around in position, but the pack is incredibly settled. The front row of Bai, Marchand and Antonio is really powerful, all on form, and the second row I think is fantastic. Woki and Willemse I think are just a perfect combo, so that tight 5 looks scary. And the back line, so the back row, Gelange, Cross and Aldrit, perfect balance there, loads of ability in the line out, carrying, handling. It is, the A pack for France there. And on the bench, 6 more forwards to come on, going with that 6-2 split again, which has worked so far. On the bench, we've got Malvaka, who's really powerful. Gross, who by name is big. Not as big as Tawa Fifanua, though. He is absolutely monstrous, who comes on in the second row. And they've got some more second row and back row options there. And then Luca and Ramos cover all those positions in the backs. And talking of the backs, very, very good. Dupont and Intermac, probably the 2 best halfbacks in the tournament so far. Then we've got Dante is back at 12. He's literally a bear in the barrel, this man. So powerful. That's great for them. Gives them some real big carrying in the midfield. Then Moefana moves to the wing, who covers for Villiers, who's injured. So that's the one big negative, if you like, for France. Villiers, who's absolutely on fire, is out. That's a shame. Pinot, their other superstar winger, is in there, and their kicking fullback, Jaminet, starts, of course. So very close to their full-strength side, certainly closer to their full-strength side than Scotland's full-strength side. But Scotland are at home. If they get the crowd behind them, if France maybe do have a bit of a meltdown, which they still can do, they have shown in this tournament already that they can make errors. Can Scotland pounce on them? They could certainly win, but my head is telling me France just have a bit too much. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you next time.